Now, the disappearance of the mother of one of America's best-known television news anchors is dominating the headlines in the US. Savannah Guthrie, who co-hosts the morning program Today on NBC News, made a tearful appeal on social media after police said they believed that 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped. Ms. Guthrie went missing in the middle of the night from her home in the US state of Arizona over the weekend. Authorities said they are working with the FBI to authenticate a possible ransom note. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now on the line from New York by Arise Special Correspondent James Blue. Good to see you, James. And this was an emotional video, even though we didn't see it, but it was posted to Instagram, in which we see one of the most recognizable faces on American television, Savannah Guthrie, flanked by her siblings, and she appears bereft. Tell us more about what happened, briefly.
Yeah, Charles, good to be with you this evening. It turns out that Samantha Guthrie is one of the sort of most popular news anchors on television. And a few days ago, her mother went missing. Her mother lives in Arizona, and there you can see the video of Samantha with her siblings, really just trying to establish and trying to speak to the captors. They're asking in this plea for a proof of life. They want to sort of make sure that their mother is still alive, and they're hoping that if her mother was able to hear this or to see this, that she would recognize that people are trying to reach her. Nancy Guthrie is 84 years old. She's very close to her children. Her husband died when the children were very young. It turns out she's on some heart medication, and they're really concerned about her being away from that medication. But this is a very gripping story because it seems to have been a kidnapping, and it seems to certainly be, quite dangerous and quite upsetting.
And James, we've since heard from President Trump, haven't we, who says that he's spoken to the NBC presenter and that he's directed federal law enforcement to deploy all the necessary resources to bring Nancy Guthrie back home. And this, we understand, involves sort of massive searches with dogs, drones, helicopters, and federal agents. So, I mean, that's a big helping hand, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is a helping hand. And Charles, this is happening out in Arizona. And so there's a lot of ground to cover. President Trump, to his credit and to the credit of the administration, recognizes that this is a really stressful situation and that given the age of Nancy Guthrie, all resources can and should be applied. What they're trying to do is sort of flood the zone in the hopes that they can actually get as many people in the area where they might actually see something. It's very clear that the Guthries are working with the FBI sort of hostage negotiating team and the team that deals with these kind of kidnappings, because the language of the appeal really was trying to humanize both the people who took them and to sort of humanize and talk about the special qualities that Nancy Guthrie has. I think for Savannah, who is, the Today Show anchor, a place where I used to work back in early in my career, although I don't know Savannah, this must be terribly, terribly painful for her fame, her prominence to potentially make her mother a target. And so I'm sure that's one of the main reasons, and in addition to getting her back to safety, the extent to which that her success may have brought this on to her mother. And so I'm confident that everyone is trying to do what they can in the hopes of trying to establish that life is still going and that there may be a possibility of getting her back alive too.
And that's an important point you make there about the fame of Savannah Guthrie and what impact that might have, how that might have, impacted this kidnapping. And Savannah, of course, speaking about her mother, as you mentioned earlier, talking about her limited mobility and that she requires daily medication in order to survive. And what do we know, James, about reports that suggest there were drops of blood leading from the entryway of Nancy Guthrie's house towards the driveway? I mean, what should we read into that? briefly?
Well, I think what they have been able to determine, Charles, is that Nancy Guthrie likely left the house under stress without cooperating. And it's the sign of blood that sort of leads the officers to believe that that is the case. And so the blood drops are sort of the leading indicator that they have that she went and left unwillingly. I mean, who knows if that's exactly what happened, but that's what they're inferring at the moment. Interestingly, Charles, they have not told us the sort of identity of whose ever blood that may be. But you know, it is sort of worrying because it does suggest that some type of force was applied, and all we know is that blood was dropped en route to the driveway from the house to the cars. But you know, it's a really, really quite shattering and quite it's an
Right.
experience I cannot imagine. But I also am hopeful that the fame and the fact that Guthrie is in such a spotlight, that will also help bring it to a resolution.
James, thanks very much indeed. James Blue is our ICE special correspondent. He was talking to me on the line there from